the issue of creamy layer did not directly arise in this case. This was a case of sub-categorization, correct? The creamy layer issue arose only as an academic issue in this matter. Therefore, it's possible for somebody to argue that the opinion of the 4 judges insofar as creamy layer is there, although they have very clearly expressed their view, is what we call in legal term obiter, which is not the ratio of a binding judgment, right? But that I don't think makes any difference to the legal position for the reason, like I said, there's an earlier judgment of 5 judges which has unanimously held that in scheduled caste and scheduled tribes, that is a Jarnail Singh judgment, holds that for scheduled caste and scheduled tribe, you can have creamy layer, right? So therefore, there is nothing new to that extent. It's just that these judges, after 4 years in today's judgment, also say that we agree with that position. So the position of creamy layer in scheduled caste, scheduled tribes does not arise from today's judgment. It arises from an earlier unanimous 5-judge judgment. So that's the short point. The law is very clear as of today, unless reversed in the future. The law is clear that in scheduled caste and scheduled tribes, you should have creamy layer and exclude them. But the states have still not done it because I think maybe for good reason, maybe there are
political reasons at that.
Yes.
All right. Okay. And Kanchalaya, that, I'll come down to my question.
Apart from that,
okay.
Yeah, I agree with him. The critical point here is read Gawai's opinion very categorically. Gawai's opinion was agreed with the rest of the 3 on creamy layer. What Justice Gawai is saying is that there should be creamy layer workable form within the scheduled caste, but it should not be on the lines of OBCs. That is, financial category was given there. 8 lakhs in the beginning, later it was taken to 12 lakhs or something. Now that is not going to be issue at all before the states, because scheduled caste as a whole, both whether it is chamars or chatabs or malas or madigas or mahars or matangas in Maharashtra, all of them will be silent about it because there is not much scope in that. The critical issue is the first judgment. Now, how do they implement?
That's what, Kanchalaya, that's what prompts me to my second question, and I will bring in Rahul Ishwar just after that, is that doesn't it also, the first part of the judgment that you're hinting at right now, which is quota within quota, also open the door for politics? Because till now, leave alone a state or 2, we had seen the SC/ST community as a homogenized group. And now, would you reckon there will be conflict at the back of this judgment?
Yeah. No, the question is, in fact, I was a supporter of Madiga movement since I know that within the administration in university that they are more in number, they were not getting as many as Malas were getting across the state, and therefore we supported that movement. Even now I support it, and I agree with the judgment spirit and the way it is pronounced. But the question is, now it is open for the whole SC/STs across the nation, and at the state level there is one method of implementation of this, and when it comes to UPSC examinations, how does the nation resolve the question of percentages for each subcaste within the scheduled caste without caste census even among scheduled caste, scheduled tribes? There is no caste sense.
Are we building to that now is the big question, but
that is the problem.
Right. Are we building to that? And I will come back to Mr. Farasat on it. But Rahul Ishwar, something which has been very much contended upon, especially politically, is to distinguish between social justice and economic justice, and thus comes the debate of the creamy layer, which will be contended with. Like Mr. Laya said, maybe not in this particular judgment as it's an observation, but it's been highly debated whether it's time to have, or exclude the creamy layer where it comes down to the reservation policy in the country.
Preeti ji, 92 years back, the very philosophy, the core of reservation was the Pune Pact, which was signed between Madan Mohan Malaviya from the caste Hindu side and Ambedkar ji on the other side, with Mahatma Gandhi playing the negotiation. This was the entire genesis of how the affirmative action and reservation came in, and Mahatma Gandhi told at that point of time, I am ready to die for Hindu unity, and Hindus won't be divided unless over my dead body. So that evolved into various aspects of reservation, including SC, ST, OBC, and the other reservation. And we all know that various political formations have played reservation to their own advantage by dividing it into various caste banks, caste-based vote banks, and playing one against the other. This is a common knowledge that no one can deny. There the questions, two questions also arises. One of economic justice. All those people from particular A community who has got the benefit of reservation, who have come forward in the families, shouldn't the other lesser privileged among their own scheduled caste and tribes get the benefit? Is it not a natural question to ask for? So naturally there should be a creamy layer concept, and that should be a welcome concept. It's a common understanding that there are people who are well off from backward communities who are doing much better, and their representation should go to the less privileged. I am from a Brahmin community. There are much more poor people in Brahmin community who doesn't get any support or help, and that's also a known thing. That's the reason why we need to recalibrate. Even Pujaniya Sarsang Chalak of RSS, Mohan Bhagawatji, they are never against reservation. At the same point of time, there is a nuanced view that comes. We need to harmonize the social justice and economic justice. This is not to say that reservation should be scrapped, but a more nuanced view of harmonizing the social and economic justice should be there. And creamy layer, identifying creamy layer and extending it to other people who have not got the benefit of reservation is the right way ahead. So I think that's a very good position that we should have. And at the end of the day,
but is it too soon? That's the question. You know, is it too soon, Rahul Ishwar, to take that stand, especially where culturally, socially, the fabric of our country, where we are right now? So that's a big question. But I'm going to just come back to you. And Mr. Farasad, I want to bring you back into this conversation, taking off from what Mr. Vilaya had said and even what Rahul Ishwar said. Forget about identifying the creamy layer. One of the biggest challenges right now will be to classify these diversions of subgroups within a group. And that, in fact, could actually lead to a larger debate of a caste census.
No, so you may do a caste census at a state level or a national level, but you can just do something much smaller for this. For instance, you can just do a socio-economic study of the scheduled caste of the state. What is their employment rate? Which caste have how much employment in the government services? What is the level of education? What is their level of economic well-being, right? These things can be done by any fact-finding commission which any state government can appoint, and they can restrict it only to a scheduled caste or scheduled tribe, right? So a caste, to implement this judgment on the ground, states can do a more limited kind of a fact-finding exercise. It need not be a caste census per se. I mean, caste census is the flavor of the season, as it were, because politically being discussed today. So obviously, you know, every reservation judgment sort of feeds into it. But I don't think it's necessarily needed. States which are genuinely concerned can do it. And importantly, today the Supreme Court has said, like it was always said in matter of reservation, that you need empirical data to support it. So if you are going to create a subcategory for a particular group of scheduled castes, then you have to show that they are genuinely more backward than the other scheduled castes.